day, freaks. I am here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and also to do an unboxing of another one of Travis McHenry's decks. I did his Angel Tarot the other day, and today we're going to have a look at the Occult Tarot. We looked at the light side. Now we're going to dive into the shadows. Okay. So just like his other deck, just such a nice presentation. I really love this presentation. Very beautiful packaging. Totally different feel, you know. I know this is going to be an excellent deck. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one. And much like my last unboxing with the Angel Tarot, his other deck, if you haven't checked it out, it is posted. It's up on BroadCoven. Check it out. I'm going to kind of just do a reading for the collective while I pull the cards. I'm going to stop on the cards that I'm getting a hit that, you know, that's a message coming through for the collective, and we're going to just read it out. It was 1:33 on the clock when I said that. Okay, so we got lots of helpers on board. I got the whole spiritual crew in. I definitely cast a circle around this space to do this particular diving in with this deck, and I'm really looking forward to going down this rabbit hole with all of you. This is my first time looking at this deck. I'm getting to see it with all of you, so I'm excited to dive right in. Let's see here. Okay, so we got the nice presentation of the box, nice sturdy box. All right, I love these kind of real high quality boxes for these decks because it definitely helps preserve the quality of the deck. And it's just, it's nice to have, right? It's nice to have something like that you can put on display. Really nice packaging on the inside. We have this ribbon, which is so beneficial because then you don't bend your book. You know, you don't bend your cards or anything like that when you're taking them out of the packaging. High quality book for the meanings of the cards, how to work with them. Okay, really cool. Again, there's this download for a free oracle reading card from an app. Like, no, we'll pass on that. I don't need no AI generated reading, man. Ooh, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Okay, the other cards, his angel deck has, you know, the gold edges. This has red. This has red. Oh, that is sexy. That is sexy. I am feeling that. Yes. All right. I'm excited. Oh, who's right on the top of the deck? Or I should say bottom of the deck. Oh, we want to read from the bottom up. All right. You got it. You got it. We're going to open up with this one here. Okay. We're going to open up with this as the first card coming in for the collective. This is just a timeless read. Okay. You get the download when you get the download and you're ready to receive the messages that come on through. The first card we're opening up with is the Magician, Baphomet. Gives health and financial prosperity, connects one safely with divine. Ooh, yes. That's a great message to come on through, okay? And you can see there's sigil on the back there. Yeah, we're coming into a time of really receiving our blessing, you know, really receiving our blessings at this time. And it's all about really remembering to have that connection to the divine. And what is the divine? It's what connects you with your spiritual mana. You know, what gives you your sense of empowerment. And, you know, people have a funny relationship with power, but power wielded wisely is what's needed in this world. And when it's held in balance, then it's not destructive. It's actually beneficial, and it's what's needed for healing. But it requires that we are connected to our power source from that place of higher consciousness. And sometimes that requires us to be honest about our shadow aspects, our limitations, things that we need to alchemize and rise above in order to wield our power with authority. And that authority is the authority that is informed by our higher consciousness or God or spirit or however you choose to look at it. It's all the same trip. It's all the same trip. It's a unity energy. It's one energy, okay? So this message starting out really strongly about right now, it's so important for us to be rooted in that connection, because that's what helps us safely connect with the guidance that needs to come in for us to lead us forward on our path, okay? We got the moon, Beelzebub. Oh, okay, you want me to read this too? All right, makes manifest the apparitions of demons, sets demons upon men to destroy them with vices. All right, this is what we're trying to overcome right now. You'll notice on these cards, they give the tarot card association, okay? And then they give a little condensed meaning behind the card, how this influence particularly works in tandem with that traditional moon energy of the tarot, okay? So this is like what we can't see, what we can't see and what's going to be illuminated. And for that moon energy to come in, it's significant because we are about to head toward a new moon in Scorpio on October 25th. And that new moon in Scorpio on October 25th is also a solar eclipse. So now you see it, now you don't. You know, there's things that are hidden and there's things that are lurking beneath the subconscious terrain. And these things can be made manifest within us. Now, people always look at this thing of demons as something outside of themselves, but it's not. It's what you create within yourself. And what is it? It's the unacknowledged, the suppressed shadow that festers. It festers, and this is when you get an imbalance of power, and it works itself out in these destructive ways with vices, things that keep you unconscious, things that keep you sleepwalking through life, addictions, drug addictions, alcoholism, sexual addictions. You know, this is coming up for people. We're being asked to really call on our true sources of power, which is our higher consciousness, that which feeds our higher consciousness, that which helps us align with the power of love. Because love is the unity. And hatred is where division is caused. This is the challenge being presented before us. It's the same trip that was around back in the 60s, right? With the summer of love, the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We're at this threshold again. It's all the same trip. It's back to the future, man. What choice are we going to make this time around? What choice are we going to make this time around? And see, the thing is, in order to move into the heart space, what do you have to do? You have to feel. You have to feel, and it's a very vulnerable space to be in. To feel everything you feel, the good, the bad, the ugly. And so people numb themselves out. They say, no, I don't want this experience. I don't want to be in this body. I don't want to feel what I'm feeling, because you have to be in body to feel what you're feeling. So people cut themselves off at the neck by numbing out with drugs, by numbing out with porn, by numbing out with the distraction of the social media drama, by numbing out with meaningless hookups, you know, numbing out with food, whatever. Anything that's keeping you from dropping in that place where you can really connect with your heart and feel what you're feeling in a way where it feels held, not where it feels activating and destructive, where you can have connections with people that feel nurturing and fulfilling and that allow you the safety of opening up into that space. Addictive relationships, this stuff is front and center, especially with it being a Libra cycle we're still in. We're not in Scorpio yet. All right. We're not in Scorpio yet. We're finding that balance. We're finding that balance right now that will allow us to transform our fate, those things that have held us back, and spin it into destiny so we can step into our new beginning, moving into that place of wholeness instead of creating our manifestations in our life from our place of feeling fractured, from the times when we were broken that we still have lodged in our consciousness that's got a stronghold on our nervous systems that keeps us repeating the same patterns over and over and over and over and over again. It's 11:22 on the clock when I said that. It's big alignment time, but it requires you show up and you do the work. You got to be present. You got to get in your body, and you got to look at the things that you're doing that are keeping you from really being present with what you're feeling right now. It's so, so key. I'm bringing it in. Death, Lucifer, provides liberation and illumination, incites jealousy and envy. All right, I'm big three. I'm bringing them in. I'm bringing them in to start this reading now, okay? It's like the things that divide us, the jealousy, the envy, the haves, the have-nots, the us, the them. These are the things that are being highlighted right now. These competitive spaces, the covetous energy. This is the original lie, truly, if you think about it, because love is a unity energy. Love is a unity energy. If you move into a space where you are doing this contrast and compare, us versus them, they have that, I don't, moving into this space, you're automatically buying into the sense of division. And so you become part of the grand lie. It's the greatest hoax of all. What affects one affects all. You may not believe that. You may not believe that, but it's the truth. It's the truth. We're talking on a broad spectrum here, okay? I'm not talking about, little superficial shit. I'm talking about the grand workings of life. Everything is interconnected. All of it. Everything you can see, feel, taste, hear. Smell, all of it, everything. It's all one energy and it's all interconnected. So as soon as you start thinking, well, they have that, I want that for myself, and you move into this egoic place of mine, yours, and viewing things as objects to be obtained, or you move into this sense of materialism where everything is about what you have, these physical things that give you some kind of status or clout, and you're comparing that against what others have. You're missing the point. You've bought into the illusion that there's a division. There is no have not. And am I speaking on terms of just humanity and our ability to move into that place of compassion for everybody that's struggling to get beyond? Absolutely. And I'm also speaking on a very practical level for manifestation. If you have this greed consciousness, which is what it is, when you are looking from this place of greed because you're coveting what other people have, you're not in the flow of abundance. You're like a clenched fist, and nothing can get into that. Nothing can get into that because the goddess loves to fill empty hands. The goddess loves to fill empty hands. Or your God. Or your higher self that knows the best way to move forward, to move in harmony with the way the universe operates, the natural laws. Even if you're an atheist, you can acknowledge there are natural laws. And to be in tune with these is to be harmonious with the flow of abundance, right? It's just common sense. It's not woo-woo, it's common sense. So if you're greedy, you move out of harmony with natural law because you don't see the sun and the moon competing for their time to shine. Each thing has its place. Each thing has its time to shine, okay? And Lucifer, it is light bringer. Like it or not, you know, in the mythos of the Bible, at one point he was God's favorite. He was God's favorite. And why did he have a fall? He had a fall because he recognized the God within him. The God within him. Okay? He wanted to be that. But isn't that what you want as well? Don't you want to be in alignment with your God, with your higher consciousness, with your spirit? I mean, this is what it means to partake of the fruit of the tree of knowledge. It's awakening to the realization that it's all in me. Here I am, naked and vulnerable, standing in the garden, realizing the truth of me, that it's been in me all along. And wait, it's in you too. It's in you too. And once you know the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't unlearn it. So it's one of those things of be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it as soon as you partake of that fruit of knowledge. As soon as you get that energy to rise up your chakra channels, that sleeping serpent in the form of the Kundalini rises through the chakra channels, you become awakened. And once you're awakened, you can't unsee it. So it's more a cautionary of like, are you really ready to see the truth? Are you ready to have the truth activated within you? That there is no separation between this idea of God, idea of creator. And I say idea because it is an idea. Everybody has a different way of relating to it. Everybody has a different way of relating to it. And the lie is that this creative force that runs through all of existence is somehow separate from you, or that you somehow have a cornerstone on it because of your particular belief in your particular deity. All right? Wow. Coming in strong, man. Coming in strong. I'm liking these cards. This is a very Libran deck, okay? The devil, Moloch. I'm only going to read off the ones and go on a channeling tangent for the ones that I really feel a pull to, like it's a message for the collective. Ace of Wands, Azazel. Ace of Pentacles, Lucifuge, Rofocale. Oh, okay. Gives all worldly power and treasures, makes one rich quickly. What was I talking about? Entering the flow of abundance. It's not about having greed, and it's not about, looking at what others have and coveting that. It's about you entering the realization of the activation of the truth within, that you are that. Like, you are that. It's just a matter of waking up to the realization. And once you wake up into that realization, you move into the flow of abundance and you step into the Emperor, Baal, controls the weather, rain and lightning, curses or causes pestilence. It's when we deny that we have this power that we move into this position of actually operating out of imbalanced power. because we somehow see power as something separate from source and that we're somehow separate from it. But when you, 2022 on the clock, when I said that, it's when you come into this realization that no, we're working in partnership with each other. And it's when I deny this power within me that it actually comes out distorted. When I deny that there is no separation between me and source, which is the greater power that runs through all of existence, that then I move out of this place where I don't know how to hold power in a place of balance. Because to be able to hold power in a place of balance, you need to be able to be conscious of the responsibility that it is. It's a great responsibility to hold power. It makes a difference. 5 of Wands, Agaras, the Tower, the Saga. This is connected to 3 cards here, so I'm going to read all these, okay? Promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehood, gives generous responses. We got the Tower of Babel in the background there, okay? Right? What was the Tower of Babel about? There were all these different languages. Nobody could understand each other. Nobody knew how to communicate with each other. This is what brings about our towers. This is what distorts our truth. We need to learn how to communicate in a new way. We need to be able to come from a different place of understanding that not everybody has our belief system. That's all it is. It's just a belief construct that helps you give a sense of containment in your worldly experience as you move through this experience of this thing called life. It's what Ted says, yes. It's what helps give you a sense of stability, okay? But everybody has a different way of relating to source. 22 on the clock when I said that. And once we can understand this and that all of our energy is interconnected, it frees up our communication in a new dynamic way. 5 of Pentacles, Gamagan, teaches all liberal sciences, gives an account of souls that died in sin, okay? This is about going back in the Akashic records. Your Akashic records have this detailed. You already know all of this. All of this knowledge is already inside of you. A lot of people are having their access to their Akashic records awakened, in particularly in dream time at this time. This is also about explore. There is a marriage between science and spirituality. You know, there doesn't have to be this division between the rational mind, the spiritual mind, or more creative mind. There's a place where they bridge. Science understands it's all energetics, just like spirituality understands that it's all energetics. Science understands that it is nothing but atoms, that our whole entire physical existence is all based on energy. It's all energetical. All energy, positive, negative, neutral energy, protons, neutrons, electrons. Okay? Is it so different from what people who adhere to spiritual beliefs expound? Not really. It's all energy. You can work with the energy. And you can also use this scientific awareness to actually inform you on your spiritual path as well, to ground you on your spiritual path. And it's understanding this science, this energetics, with this being associated with the 5 of Pentacles, helps move you out of that position of operating in your life from a place of lack. And when we feel like we don't have the haves, the have-nots, right? It's that duality. When we're in that divisory, dualistic thinking, that's when we operate out of this place where we find it difficult to manifest our abundance. We feel like, well, some of us are just meant to suffer in this life. No, you're not. It's a garden of earthly delight. You're here to enjoy life. Why do you think you were given all these senses? It's so you can take in the pleasures and the enjoyment of this world, of being in this body. It's a gift. And to not appreciate it and enjoy it is a violation of the sacredness of this experience. That's very hedonistic of me, I know, but Pan. I love Pan, okay? And I'm a witchy woman, and it's how I move through this life. And I know the opposite side too. I was raised in a very strict Christian background until the age of 12. Till the age of 12 when my parents moved away from going to church and they gave us kids the choice if we wanted to continue to go. And they said that they would support us if we chose to do that. And I chose not to because I was always called to the wild path. I came into this world called to the wild path. That's how I've always been. That's my true nature. So nobody can tell me that there's anything wrong with me being me. And there's nothing wrong with you being you either. But can't we all get on the same page here that ideally we're here to enjoy this experience. Ideally, we're here to be grateful for this experience, that we can look at the world around us and all the beauty that's there, and that we can be so appreciative of it, so grateful to have it. And that we can understand just by watching nature. Here's that piece, the sciences. By watching nature, we understand everything has an ebb and flow. What is emptied becomes full, and vice versa. And when you trust this, that there's this natural rhythm and order, you move in harmony with the universe. And so your cup is inexhaustible. It's always full. And you can always give from that cup as well. Gives an account of souls that died in sin. I mean, isn't it a sin to not live this life while you're here? To not appreciate this life while you're here? No, I think so. I think so. 10 of Wands, Marbus, causes and cures diseases, tells secrets and things hidden, can make one shapeshift. Yeah, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is about being overwhelmed. It's about being burdened. It's about, just trudging through and being a slave. Being a slave to some bizarre doctrine that tells you have to suffer in order to grow, that you have to suffer through life, that you should feel guilty about enjoying pleasures. This is burdening. And then we keep these things secret. We keep these things hidden. Our desires, our gratifications. And because they're not acknowledged, just like we're not acknowledging the truth of who we are, that we are all connected to this power of Creator, that it runs through each and every one of us, it then has power over us. And it acts out in addictions, distortions, dysfunction, inability to have healthy communication. It's about stripping all that away. Stripping all that away to get to the truth. Get to the truth. 4 of Pentacles, Valifor. 2 of Pentacles, Amen. 10 of Pentacles, Barbatos. This is sticking. Okay, it's interesting. I'm finding it really interesting that all the manifestation things are sticking together and want to be read for the collective. 10 of Pentacles, okay? Understands the tongues of animals, uncovers treasures hidden by magicians, reconciles friends and enemies. Yeah, understand the tongues of animals. Get back in touch with the roots, with your feral nature, with your connection to earth, with the connection to the natural world. We've become too disconnected, always looking at our phones or always on the computer, having an artificial experience, so much so that we've now created an entire artificial intelligence that's starting to take on a life of its own. That's what we're manifesting together because we've lost touch with the roots. We need to bring it back to the roots again. And this is what uncovers the treasures hidden by magicians, that you are that. You are everything that is around you in nature. Macrocosm is reflected in microcosm. You hold the whole world in your hand. I got the whole world in my hands. 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 It's all in your hands. Your fate, your destiny, it's all in your hands. Once you understand this, there doesn't need to be division. Once you understand that we all got the whole world in our hands, that it's each of our responsibility to hold this world in our hands, then you can bridge the gap. You can reconcile that which divides you from the person across from you. Queen of Wands. Okay. Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Hymen. Teaches art and sciences, tells anything one desires to know, gives dignities, can make any man subject to one's demands, gives good familiars. There's a way to wield the wand with power, and there's the way to wield the wand destructively. And that's all about your will and how you wield it. This is why there's great responsibility in how you wield power. You can use your active life force directed in such a way that you uplift your own life and the lives of others around you. You inspire them. You use your creative force to bring art into the world and to move through your relationships, your interactions with others in partnership as co-creators of what you want to bring in. You know, or you can do it in a way where you're kind of like wielding your power like a dictator, where you're beating people over the head and you're trying to control them, trying to tell them what to do, pushing everybody around, operating in that like emperor in reverse energy. It's all about how you wield your power. All right. And, you know, with that piece that came in with animal communication, those of you who do have pets, start making a deeper connection with your pets. You know, spend more time with them and bring them into any kind of spiritual work you do, whether it's praying, whether it's, you know, going into circle, raising energy for healing, you know, make contact. Ted's like, Make contact with your animals and they'll help ground you, you know, they'll help ground you out. They'll help ground you out. And also pay attention to the health of your animals. What's going on with your animals? Are you running power in a clean way, or is your power distorted? You can use the health of your pets as a barometer for, you know, how that's going. Okay. Because you have to understand that pets are very sensitive. Animals are very sensitive to energy, very sensitive to energy. So if they're not feeling well, they're letting you know like something's off in this environment. This energy is not clean. And then you might want to do some cleansing, all right? Cleansing of yourself. You might want to do some spiritual cleansing, because the reality is, you know, we all have sensitivity. You know, people like to say, well, I'm an empath and I'm an intuitive and I'm a psychic and I'm this, but we're actually all that, you know, we're all that. It's just some of us have more barriers up to knowing how to work with our gifts, or we have a fear of working with our gifts, but we all have this ability within us, you know, to access these states of consciousness. And so, you know, it may be a need of getting the blocks out. And particularly if you're finding that you are having issues with any kind of addictions, if there's any sort of shadow nature that you're acting out of, you might want to look at doing a spiritual cleansing bath. A good place to start: 2 cups baking soda, 2 cups Epsom salt or sea salt, and then you add your own elements in there. Activate that inner magician within you, you know, call on that wand energy and add to that bath anything that feels like it needs to come in. You may feel drawn to bring in a particular crystal. You may feel drawn to bring in a certain flower essence, or to work with certain candles while you're in the tub, or a particular meditation, you know, whatever you want to bring in, or songs, you know, whatever you want to bring it in, and work with this, cleanse your environment. Get rid of the clutter, get rid of old stuff that you're hanging on to, especially if you have attachment. If you have attachment to things that you know aren't healthy for you, it's time to go through your house and like get rid of the clutter. Physically letting go of things. Remember, macrocosm's reflected in microcosm helps you let go of things internally. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like everything's bogged down, if you're not seeing your manifestations come through, if you're feeling frustrated, look at your environment. Look at the health of your pets. Look at how your plants are doing, okay? And then act accordingly and watch how it starts to shift things internally. This leads to Ace of Cups. Teaches philosophy and the uses of herbs. Heals all diseases and disorders. Brings good familiars, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to work in harmony with the nature around you, all right? And some of you would do really well to start, getting in touch with your plant allies. Open up the gates to your healing, in ways that are closer to the earth, and watch how that also connects you to just be in harmony with the earth. All right. Doesn't mean you have to abandon your doctor, but if you are struggling with some kind of illness, I think that what's really coming through here is that there's some kind of herbal ally that can help you in this regard. And so start noticing if you feel drawn to research a particular herb and look into it. And then notice the way that that particular herb also has metaphysical correspondences. You'll be surprised at how it's just the medicine you need to address what's going on in your life. And then work with it accordingly. Bring that herb into your spiritual baths as well as taking it internally, if that's appropriate, if it is for internal use. There are some herbs that come in as allies sometimes just to kind of clear the energy in a space, right? But they're not meant to be ingested, things like belladonna, those really witchy herbs and spices, okay? 3 of Cups, Gushin, Ace of Swords, Citri, Knight of Cups, Belith, and this is connected to another card here. So Belith causes all the love that may be both of men and women. Okay, so this is somebody's advancing with a love offer. This is coming in. A lot of people are connecting with their soulmates and their soul family, soulmates aren't just people that you're meant to unite with on an intimate level or romantic level. They're also people that are coming into your life that are opening you to a new potential, bringing you an opportunity to act in co-creation with them, to bring a new chapter in your life, to open up a new area of discovery, okay? And this was attached to 9 of Swords, Laurier. Causes great battles and wars, causes wounds to putrefy, okay? And this is about, some of these people, and maybe reunions. You got to put down the grudge, man. You got to put down the grudge. And that doesn't mean you necessarily have to let this person back into your life that wants to advance, all right? But with the 9 of Swords here, it does show that there's a lot of fear around this. And this is related to this old energy still being in your space of what happened back then, But people can grow. And if you don't think that people can grow, if you don't think that people can heal, how can you even call yourself a spiritual person? I mean, we're all here to grow. Can you think of things that you've done in your life at some point that maybe you weren't proud of necessarily, or you knew you could have done better? And did you, take up the challenge and do better the next time? Any of you ever had an addiction that you overcame? I know there's plenty of you that have. So there's somebody that wants to approach you. They want to approach you. They want to connect on an emotional level. This may be an opportunity for healing. This may be an opportunity to clear the air. This may be the opportunity for some kind of reconciliation. I think you're going to have a lot of fear and activation around this with that Nine of Swords. I think it's because you're still in battle with this energy. It has to do with your trauma around what happened in the past. And not all doors are meant to be opened again. Okay? And that may be the lesson for both you and that person. It depends. Depends on your situation. All right? You're going to have to use discernment with the King of Swords coming out here. Eligos reveals knowledge in forthcoming battles and procures the favor of lords and kings. Air sign collective coming in, okay? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, all right? So this is about using discernment and listening to your intuition, being informed by what happened in the past, not losing the memo, not forgetting the lesson you learned, all right? But also understanding that there can be a new understanding. You're different than you were then. This person is also likely different from where they were at that time. That doesn't mean you have to like kumbaya it out, man. But there's some kind of healing that needs to happen here. Otherwise, this wouldn't be coming forward. And we got here the Lovers. Causes women to love men and brings them together in love. Can make women barren, okay? This is about being united, okay? Being united with the one, you know, that is your reflection. And is your reflection at this time, okay? Is your reflection at this time. And we're all reflections for one another. So it's about recognizing the love within each other too. Connecting with that place within another, where if we're seeing fear, if we're seeing anger, if we're seeing something in another that's stinging us, they're reflecting something within us. They're reflecting something within us too. They're giving us an opportunity to transform our shadows. So this is something that we can all be grateful for, this opportunity to transcend these limitations. And with this piece here, can make women barren. What is being barren about? It's about having the inability to birth that creative force of life into the world, having that inability to birth from the creative center. And I feel like having the fear is what blocks it, okay, with the Nine of Swords. That's what the Nine of Swords here is. It's fear, and fear is what divides from love. All right, so there's some need here to drop the fear and enter into a creative space to just see how this energy can be transformed, even if it does mean you hold your boundary. There's still something that it illuminates in you that you need to transform in order to be free. Otherwise, the fear wouldn't be coming up. Do you understand? Transcending the fear brings you into union. Page of Swords, Lotus, Knight of Wands, Fatim. And this also is being called to read Knight of Wands. This is moving forward with passion and purpose, okay? It's fire sign energy, teaches the values of herbs and stones, transports anyone suddenly from one place to another. Okay, so again, there's something coming in for you, fire sign collective, about really working with, more natural means for healing. And this is also about, you might need to go somewhere. You might need a geographical cure. You might need to go out into the world and go on a little bit of a spiritual pilgrimage, hit the road and find yourself, Jack Kerouac vibes. On the road again, man. Like, I feel like you're moving into a new phase in your life, and you're moving with passion and purpose. You know where you want to go. You know what you need to do to get there. And you might need to do some healing work, okay? Some of you are being really inspired by metaphysics. Some of you are wanting to explore this more. You're wanting to learn how to, work with magic. You're wanting to learn how to work with herbs, work with stones, and how to use them for manifestation, or how to use them in a healing capacity. And I see you exploring this further. But I also see this as in relation to love, because we got Two of Cups. This is about coming back into union with somebody, about reconnecting with somebody. And there's some kind of healing opportunity here, but also growth that comes through it. And that means being open to the creativity of the connection. And some connections that are coming back around the bend, okay, they're not all just romantic connections. Some of them are friendships. Like I was saying, they're soulmates. There might be something you're meant to create with this person. And be open that past relationships that are coming back around, they may be reinvented. Who says it has to be what it was before? Maybe it can be a different kind of connection. So it's about opening up to the space of exploration, okay? Two of Cups, it says, Salos causes the love of women to men and of men to women. There you go, bringing it back in balance. And in the last one, it was just talking about for women to fall in love with men. So if there are any of you out there who've been trying to do some kind of, love magic, working on a feminine to draw them to you, there's nothing there. There will be no birth there. That's barren, right? It's barren. It's said makes women barren. There can be no life there. There can be no love birthed in a situation that you're trying to control or manipulate. That's egoic. It's divisory. It doesn't promote union. It's contradictory. It creates separation. All right? So cleanse that shit if you move like that, okay? We got Four of Wands, person. Knows all things hidden, answers truly about things earthly or divine. Page of Pentacles, Marix, teaches astronomy and liberal science, knows the virtues of precious stones and herbs, gives very good familiars, okay? There's all this piece about, Four of Wands, what brings stability, what brings that spirit of celebration, what brings that alignment, that coming together with that Four of Wands, where you can really meet with your soulmates, where you can grow something beautiful from that place. It is about this piece of maybe studying astronomy a little bit more, maybe getting out, looking up under those stars, understanding the connection of all things. Some of you might be exploring astrology. It can be helpful to have an understanding of somebody's astrology. It can help you understand how to interact with them, how to communicate with them in a way that they're going to be able to, actually receive. It's sort of like in Ayurveda, we talk about like if somebody's bringing you fire, okay? If somebody's bringing you pitta energy, don't bring them more fire, okay? It's not a good thing because then it's just combative. You want to bring in more kapha energy. You want to bring in more water elemental. You want to bring in more earth elemental. That kind of like grounds the volatility out, okay? And invites the nurturing in, all right? So there's ways of understanding these things, understanding these natural elements of understanding the astrology, these things that it helps you learn how to better make a connection and also helps you better understand yourself. I've got Two of Wands, Epos, Five of Cups, I'm Seven of Pentacles, Nabirius, Seven of Wands, Glacia Labolas, the Sun, Dune, Eight of Wands, Renov, King of Pentacles, Bereth, Justice, Astaroth, Lady of the Hour, Libra, okay? It's Libra season. We're doing the balancing act right now between that shadow and light. Tell how the angels fell, reveals the past, present, and future, teaches the liberal science. I already did that. Isn't that funny? And I'm a Libra. I already brought that in the beginning. I love it. I like this deck. Six of Cups, Fornius. Nine of Cups, Forest. King of Wands, Asmodeus. The Star, Goth. Ten of Cups, Furfur. 9 of Wands, Marcosius. Page of Cups, Stolas. Okay, and I'm just going to let you just see these cards right here because I am pre-recording this and I'm running out of time, okay? There's many more, but you get the feel for this deck, okay? I do want to do a cut of the deck energy for the collective, all right? Just so I can get us a read. And I'm definitely going to enjoy looking through these further because this is an awesome deck. I love both of them. And I'm going to work with them together. You know what I'm going to do? When I work with these decks in the future, I'm going to do just like I've done with my bicycle cards, and I'm going to merge both decks into one big deck of shadow and light. I love it. I love it. Ooh, I just got sentience. Such a Libran approach, man. All right, so let's see. Give us the download, Spirit. What does the collective need to do right now? What do they need to focus on? What do they need to be aware of? Kind of the deck energy. 7 of Wands. Glacia labolis. Ooh. Causes murder and bloodshed. Tells of things to come. Causes the love of friends or enemies. Can make one invisible. And on the other side of that, Ace of Wands, Azazel, teaches holy secrets, instructs how to make weapons and the art of seduction. Okay. And right behind that, we got the devil, Moloch. And behind that, strength, vine. Okay. So here's the deal here. We need to understand that when people are acting out of their shadow, okay, really destructive things can result. And with the 7 of Wands energy there is a need for you to protect your space from those that you know are really in an unhealthy place. And sometimes you have to really not allow certain things into your space. You can still hold love around that person. You can still hold the intention of healing around that person. You can encourage that person to go get help, but don't play a martyr by taking on this energy because you might take on more than you're really ready to deal with. You might take on more than you bargained for, okay? And in this case, causes the love of friends or enemies, can make one invisible. You know, I think that there are some hidden enemies. And this energy has been really coming forward a lot in the collective that not all is as it seems right now. There are people that have really concealed their shadow. There are people around you who are smiling to your face, but aren't necessarily supportive of you or have your best interests at heart. And so I really encourage you at this time to listen to your intuition. Get in that body, right? You got to get in your body, all right? You can't just have your head in the clouds. You got to get in your body. You got to get in touch with what your gut is telling you. And if something doesn't feel right, trust that, okay? You want to be mindful. You want to be mindful that, you know, there are people out there that are using that wand, all right? And I'm getting sexually, okay? This is coming through as like player energy because it comes in with make weapons and the art of seduction, all right? They know that if they get an entry on this level sexually, that they can have a stronghold over you. They can manipulate you. Some of these people might have even, you know, picked up some kind of diseases. You know, you don't not necessarily want to pick that up. And at the very least, you don't want an STD, a sexually transmitted demon. Now, do you? Because then you're going to be courted. You're going to be courted into this unhealthy dynamic again. And all of that harvest that's promised, it'll just fall fallow. You will have nothing to yield. All right? Yeah, look at the devil, Moloch, makes one worse off than ever before, tricks mortals into being bound, accepts child sacrifice. And I'm picking this up, the child sacrifice, as I brought it in. It's like that ability to birth things into being. It'll block your blessings. It'll block your blessings. So If somebody's coming around and you're not feeling right about it, you need to listen to your intuition. You need to understand that you don't need somebody else outside of you to tell you if you should go this way or that way. You just need to recognize that spirit runs through you. You are source. You create your reality. And it's up to you how you wield that power. So wield it wisely. And nothing has more power than our power of choice. And that power of choice is what we choose to align with and what we choose to release. 55:44 on the clock when I said that. Strength, vine, builds towers or destroys stone walls, causes rough waters, finds witches. Right? Again, it's that duality. You can use the energy to build or you can use it to tear down. What are you going to do? It's your choice. It's your choice. But if you look where the rough waters are, if you look where the dissension is in your life, if you look where things have been stirred up, where things are confusing, you know that that's where the witches are, right? That's where somebody is operating out of some kind of distortion of power. Align yourself with those who are the builders in this world. The witches that know how to wield the wand in such a way where it produces alchemy, a rising up out of the lower nature to the exalted form. But it begins with first recognizing that within yourself, because until you can make that differentiation within, you won't be able to make it.